All right, for this special report, we are jumping forward in time. The date is February 19th, 2026. And I want you to remember that date because it's going to go down in history as a massive turning point for artificial intelligence.
See, this was the day that all the abstract what-if conversations about AI's future suddenly became a very concrete, very real sovereign reality. A whole series of events happening all at once, from New Delhi to Silicon Valley, fundamentally remade the global order. And we're going to start with the geopolitical earthquake that really kicked it all off in India.
The main stage for this was the India AI Impact Summit in New Delhi. And let me be clear, this was not just another tech conference. Oh no, this was the moment a powerful new vision for how AI should be governed was declared. And, for the first time ever, it was the Global South successfully putting its own framework on the international stage.
Prime Minister Modi really captured the spirit of the day with these words. He was speaking to a room packed with world leaders and tech CEOs, and he basically laid out a new human-centric philosophy, one that directly challenges the old way of doing things, the dominance of Western big tech. So, what's the plan? Well, it's called the MANAV vision. MANAV actually means human in Hindi, which tells you everything you need to know. It's a framework designed from the ground up to make sure AI serves people, not just corporate profits. It's a full-blown roadmap for how India and maybe the entire global South plans to control its own digital future.
The whole framework is built on 5 pillars, but the one you really need to pay attention to is the third one, national sovereignty. This is all about data sovereignty, the right for a nation to control its own data and, crucially, to keep the value generated from that data inside its own borders. It is a direct shot across the bow of the old big tech model of data extraction.
And look, this wasn't just talk. The MANAV vision is backed by some seriously powerful homegrown technology. We're talking about models like Sarvam 105B, which is optimized for 22 different Indic languages. This allows nations to build their very own digital infrastructure, which decouples them from foreign platforms and protects both their national security and their culture.
Now, at the very same time this huge geopolitical shift was happening, the financial world was going into overdrive. This new global competition for AI dominance kicked off what you could call a new capital supercycle, with investments so massive they rival the GDP of entire countries.
And this is the number that just stopped everyone in their tracks. OpenAI was reportedly finalizing a funding round that could hit $100 billion. Let that sink in. And this isn't just money for software. No, this capital is for building the physical world of AI. We're talking custom silicon factories and data centers that need gigawatts of power.
An investment that big pushes OpenAI's valuation to a staggering $850 billion. So why so high? Well, the market doesn't see it as just a software company anymore. It sees it as a foundational utility, kind of like an energy provider. But instead of electricity, it's providing the raw intelligence for the next century. The AI race is officially an industrial-scale contest now.
And believe me, OpenAI wasn't alone. At the same time, Anthropic announced its own $30 billion funding round. This sheer volume of money, just flooding into a handful of top AI labs, is concentrating an absolutely immense amount of economic power and just pouring gasoline on the fire of technological acceleration.
Which, of course, brings us to the actual breakthroughs that all this money and all this focus are making possible. This is the point where AI moves beyond just generating text or images and into the realm of true reasoning. The ability to solve brand new, complex problems all on its own.
Google's Gemini 3 DeepThink update really felt like a paradigm shift. The model won a gold medal at the International Math Olympiad. It scored almost 50% on a test that was designed to be impossibly hard for AI. This is the proof. AI is no longer just a creative assistant. It is becoming a full-on scientific collaborator that can do its own research.
And this incredible new reasoning power, it's not staying locked up in the digital world. Nvidia announced its GROOT project, which is basically a general-purpose foundation model for humanoid robots. People started calling it the ChatGPT moment for robotics, because it finally lets machines learn and reason in the physical world, bridging that huge gap between simulation and reality.
So you have this level of technological advancement, this much money. It doesn't happen in a bubble, right? On this day, February 19th, it sent immediate and really profound shockwaves straight through the global economy.
It actually started with something that sounded pretty minor, a simple software update. Anthropic released a new plugin for its Claude platform. This one was designed to automate high-level legal work, things like contract review and compliance checks. The market's reaction was, well, immediate and brutal.
They actually called it the Claude crash. All these legacy information providers, the traditional gatekeepers of legal and financial data, their stocks just plummeted. The fear is what's called disintermediation. Basically, if an AI can do the expert analysis itself, the value of just owning a big database starts to completely collapse.
And the disruption wasn't just in the legal world. A really stark new report came out from UNESCO, and it warned that as AI-generated content floods the market at almost zero cost, the entire economic model for human creativity is becoming unsustainable. They projected a 25% drop in creator earnings in just 2 years.
So, let's step back. When you put all of this together, what does this one day truly represent? Well, it's a convergence point. You have a new geopolitical consensus that puts sovereign AI first, which is being fueled by unbelievable amounts of capital, which is leading to breakthroughs in reasoning that are immediately blowing up the worlds of professional and creative work.
The events of February 19, 2026 force all of us to face a brand new reality. We are now entering an age where high-level intelligence isn't scarce anymore, it's abundant. And as different nations build their own sovereign versions of it, the single defining question for our time becomes this: in this new world, what is the value of a human?